Say more money, more problems. That's when we don't got 'em. You must be on a different page.
All right.
The final count.
All right, guys. Welcome back. The boys are back in the building for week 9. I miss you guys so much. I took the week off yesterday, or last week I was in Napa, but I am back. Alpha Dog Bets, how you doing, my guy?
Good, man. Good. It is good to have you back. I didn't think I'd miss you as much as I did, but it's definitely good to have you back.
I think about you all day. Sammy Adams, the one
boy.
Boston boy. How are you doing, bro?
I mean, I'm good. You know, I'm not good. Last week I caught the reverse sweep, which you never like to hear.
Sammy Adams playing the fiddle. Thank you, Sammy Adams, and my guy, Dead Press Picks. How did you feel about last week's show, and how'd your bets do?
Sammy, you just woke my dog up. But, yeah, I'm doing good. Not my best week, AC, but, hey, we're still alive, so can't complain.
All right. Let's go through last week's slate real quick. Wizard, we're just going to get into the Thursday night last week. Packers, Cardinals. It was a huge game. A-Rod, Kyler Murray. I'll start with Alpha Dog Bets, the one and only. Which side were you on, and did you get to watch this game?
I did. Unfortunately, you weren't here with us last week, Analytics Capper, but the entire show collabed and was on the Green Bay Packers. So all 4 of us, including Slam last week, were able to cash that bet. So we definitely had that right last week, guys. It was awesome seeing that Packers win.
Dead Press Picks. Are the Packers for real? I know Aaron Rodgers is out this week. We'll get to him a little bit later. But how do you feel about the Green Bay Packers?
Yeah, I said after week 1, AC, no panic. Rodgers said it before, just to relax, and, he was right again. So, I mean, he just continues to impress. That was an extremely impressive win, going into Arizona. None of us understood why they were getting a touchdown. We still don't understand why they were getting a touchdown, but ultimately – yeah, I mean, they're set up perfectly. I know now with the Rodgers news this week, that screws some things up, but they'll be just fine. I think they're the best, second best team in the NFC right behind the Rams. So I still have them, making a deep run on the season for sure.
Sammy Adams, one of the best games last Sunday was actually the Bengals and the Jets. Mike White came out of nowhere. Were you able to catch this game? Joey B threw a crazy interception towards the end, gave the Jets the chance, and Mike White took it.
Honestly, I wish I didn't tease the Bengals and then give another, I'm not a tout, but, throwing out the Bengals -10 against Lear's Jets, you'd think it's just an absolute lock. And then Joe Burrow goes into full, Andy Dalton mode and throws a ball that isn't even in the vicinity.
Yeah, it's terrible.
Of the receiver. So the Bengals royally effed me on that one. And I apologize to any BMR followers and subscribers because that is my bad. I lost you a teaser, which I never want to do. A lot of people say you should never do teasers. I totally disagree, especially this week. I think Big Joe needs to go home, catch some top, and smoke a cigar. And
I like it. Again, Sammy, thank you so much. Perfect segue. We are doing this with BookmakersReview.com. Please like and subscribe to us on YouTube. If you go to the YouTube, click on the description. There's going to be so much NFL content, injury news, the latest odds, and everything you need with the NFL. So please go to BookmakersReview.com. All right, Alpha Dog Bets.
Well,
this
hold
game.
on, Al, we got to tell them about the new the new layout. Like
Yeah,
the new
this
layout.
show looks amazing. This show looks
Amazing.
amazing. That means we're moving up on the world, guys. We're moving up on the world. It's no longer just the 4 boxes. There's a lot of graphics. There's a lot of color. It looks amazing. So props to the BMR team and our guy, the Wizard. Alpha Dog Bets, this game broke my heart. Carson Wentz. It was Titans, Colts, ended in overtime. 34-31 Titans. How do you feel about this game? I know you had the Titans. Talk your talk.
I was excited last week watching that game. It was a great win for the Titans. Was really a big factor that Carson Wentz likes to throw ridiculous passes in the end zone and give the game away, essentially, really put them right back into it. But a great win for the Titans. They played very well. A big loss, though. They're going to be out without Derrick Henry. It looks like for at least the season, potentially for the playoffs as well. They signed Adrian Peterson, so there'll be a different-looking backfield upcoming week. So excited to see what they look like.
So they signed Adrian Peterson, which literally it's like, okay, like it's like let's let my dad go do the rest of my show. Like,
well, your dad's pretty skilled still. Your dad still could be pretty skilled.
My dad is skilled. I'm not gonna lie. In the culinary world, he is untopped. But at the same time, like let's be honest, Carson Wentz showed that he's like this. I mean, he looks like a Sam Darnold with the Jets. Like, how many points does this dude put up in the last?
Carson looked bad last week. He just makes really bad decisions. I posted on my Twitter. He threw into triple coverage to Michael Pittman when both Ali Cox and Jonathan Taylor were wide open in the flat. This would have gotten you 15, 20 yards easy. This was overtime, first down, and you can't make that mistake.
Ask.
Yes, so let's move on to Dead Press Picks. He is a Carson Wentz.
Carson Wentz was playing at the link.
Yeah, Carson was playing at the link. We are still doing last week's recap, Wizard, so keep it on here. But, Dad, I want to talk about actually the Bucks, Saints, Brady, Winston. Winston actually got hurt in the game, tore his ACL, so prayers up to him. Hope for a full recovery. But somehow Trevor Siemian won that game for the Saints outright at home. How did you feel about that?
Well, I was happy because I was on the Saints with the points there +4. But moving forward, a lot of question marks for the Saints, obviously, now surrounding will they go get a quarterback, right? Or do they let Taysom Hill, considering that he's healthy again, he's been out with a concussion, take over. He did a couple games last year and actually did an okay job. But the Saints are half a game back in this division, which is pretty crazy to say. I think, in my opinion, they go out and get someone a little bit better than Taysom Hill as far as
Phillip
quarterback.
Rivers,
Yeah,
Cam Newton.
You could get Cam.
It has to be from the retirement market, though, now that the trade deadline's passed. It has to be one of those guys. So their options are kind of limited.
Right. Yeah. So, I mean, it might be by that they're going to stick with Hill, but obviously, their defense is good enough. They always have given Brady problems through his career. He just has always had trouble with the Saints. So, I mean, it's a massive win for them because they're right in it, to win the division, really. But they're going to have to make a move, in my opinion, at the quarterback position if they want to stay competitive.
All right, and I'll close out last week's slate talking about my team, the Dallas Cowboys. Dak Prescott was out. It did not matter. We went into Minnesota, and they still surprisingly won and beat the Vikings. Honestly, Mike Zimmer, I'm surprised he still has a job today for Minnesota because he did a terrible job coaching the Vikings there. Cowboys were very, undermanned. Without Dak Prescott, you put Cooper Rush in and you still somehow lose at home. That should be a fireable offense. Alpha Dog Bets, were you on this game at all, and did you get to watch it?
I was. It was a good game for me. I was on the Cowboys. It was one of my best bets last week. The Cowboys, to me, are a great team. They really are. On both sides of the ball, they're really playing great football. They're by far the best team in the NFC East, which pains me to say as an NFC East fan of the New York Giants. But Cooper Rush came in there, man. He really did his thing. Was very impressed with Cooper Rush, and that team just played their great game. So it was a good job by the Cowboys.
All right, Wizard, let's get into this week's slate. We're going to start with tonight's game, the Jets traveling to Indiana and those freaking Carson Wentz Colts. Right now, they're a 10-point favorite. I'll let Dead Press Picks start on this one. This is your boy, Carson Wentz. Would you ever ever back Carson Wentz 10 points?
Now, I would never lay 10 with Wentz here in this position, guys. I mean, for me, this is a side that I don't have a good feel on either, so I'm not even going to talk about the side. My favorite bet in this game, I took Mike White to go over 249.5 passing yards. I think the Jets are going to have to throw a ton to stay competitive in the game. I do think the Colts lead the majority of this game, especially second half. He'll get a bunch of trash yards at the end, the last couple drives. So, I mean, I think the Colts probably do cover this number. I think the Jets will actually be a public dog, surprisingly enough.
I agree.
I think that most people will end up backing them. But, with that said, I wouldn't touch a side here. I think there's some good prop plays. I did take Jonathan Taylor to score 3 times or more at some, big time.
Okay.
So,
3 touchdowns.
I think we'll just keep scoring. If you want to throw some peanuts on that, I would. I think the Colts end up covering the number. I just don't feel comfortable laying 10 with Wentz.
Sammy Adams, do you believe in the hype that is Mike White right now for the Jets? Sammy, you're on mute.
You're muted, Sammy.
Oh, sorry about that. First off, that's probably good for when you guys were talking. But at the same time, I completely disagree. I think this is a absolute disintegrate, there's a solution to the Jets. And guess what? Coming off like an amazing, his jersey in football going to the Hall of Fame. No one cares. You're getting clapped by the Colts tonight. I think the over on passing yards is wild crazy. I think he ends up with 179, maybe 190 max. I think
one up, Sammy.
All right, so we got a disagreement between Dead Prez and Sammy Adams. Alpha Dog Brett.
I'll go side bet.
Yeah, Alpha Dog, break that tie. Do you believe in Mike White, or do you? Is this a layaway for you? Layoff?
It's a little bit of more of not believing Mike White. I'm going to be taking a teaser in this one, guys. I'm teasing the under up to a 51.5 line. I'm going to be taking the Colts by 4. I'm definitely not comfortable taking them by the full 10 points. I think the Jets played a great game last week, and it's all going to come down to the Jets' offensive game plan. Last week, they had Mike White getting the ball out of his hand within 2 seconds of almost every single snap. He was hiking and throwing quick passes, efficient passes, and bringing the team down the field. If they could do that again and call the right game plan for him, I think they definitely can keep it close. But I think late that the Colts will absolutely pull away by at least a touchdown, not by the double digits per se, but by definitely a touchdown, guys. So my play is going to be a teaser of the Colts -4, under 51.5.
So right.
If anyone wants to side bet, I will side bet Prez.
Let's see it. Well, let's see it. What do we got here? I think it's a jersey bet.
Yeah,
the season record right now. Sammy and Alpha are both 1-0 in the side bets. Me and Dead Prez picks are both 0-1. So Sammy, this is your chance to go up 2 against Prez.
I will side bet against what Dead said. I'm going to take the under on Mike White over. And I think they win by double digits against the Jets.
So, all right. So put that on the board. I like it.
Hope in, baby. Let's go.
Let's go ahead and move to the next game, Wizard. We're going to do the Minnesota Vikings traveling to Baltimore playing Lamar Jackson. Right now, it is a 6 to 6.5 point favorite. Baltimore at home. Minnesota obviously just came off a pretty bad loss against the Cowboys. I will start with Alpha Dog Bets. 6 point favorite, 6.5 point favorite. Are you taking the Ravens or the Vikings here?
Guys, I'm going to give you a little spoil. This is one of my best bets of the week. I am all over the Minnesota Vikings. I think that this line is a little too large based on last week's game against the Cowboys. I think they're kind of looking at the Vikings in a microscope and not at their whole season of work. I think they're good enough to readjust this week. Their passing attack is good enough to keep this game close. And I don't think this game finishes by more than 7 in either direction. So because of that, I'm going to be taking the plus money dog and give me the points with the Minnesota Vikings.
Wow. I don't know about you guys, Prez, Sammy Adams. I am actually very, very surprised Alpha is on the Vikings there. That could be a very sharp play, Alpha. I like that. Sammy Adams, how do you feel about this game? Vikings, Ravens. The purple teams.
I mean, to be honest, like the Ravens have the better jerseys. Like let's be honest, the Vikings jerseys, the whole skull thing, like leave it out, terrible. I honestly think that if there's any brain in the offense for the Ravens, they should win this game by 10 points. I think this is like a perfect time to cap. The Ravens have not done great offensively, but the Vikings are not a good defensive squad. O-line, D-line, they cannot protect Kirk Cousins. Kirk Cousins should have thrown at least 2 more touchdowns
Easily.
last week.
Easily.
So I think honestly they get punished if they play like they did on, what was it, Monday night or Sunday night? Like they need to. I think they're going to get pummeled.
Right.
That's my take. If you
All
want
right,
to bet, I'll keep going.
Nobody's side betting this game with you, Sammy. All right, let's go ahead and move on to the next one. We have New England traveling to Carolina. I know Sammy is our Boston boy, big Patriots fan, but I think the Patriots is actually one of our favorite teams, the 4 of us, in terms of
Yep.
They just really, really improved as the season has gone on. I'll start with Dead Prez picks. There's really no quarterback yet decided for the Panthers. They are a 3.5-point home dog. I know you like the dogs. Are you taking Carolina here, or are you going to back the Patriots?
Yeah, I think Carolina wins this one outright.
There you go. I knew it. That's why I set it up that way. Tell us why. Tell us why you like the Panthers. And I do foresee a side bet between you and Sammy again.
Sammy's back on the page. Well, Carolina's supposed to because every week you hear Christian McCaffrey, but it actually sounds like he's playing this week at this point. So getting McCaffrey back, when they had McCaffrey in the lineup, remember, they didn't lose a game. I do think that he, makes that big of an impact offensively. New England's also 3-0 on the road. I think they get some regression here and they don't win another road game. Carolina has a good defense, overall this year. And New England's offense, they have been more impressive as the year's gone on. But there's just too much value, in my opinion, here with getting McCaffrey back at home, because I think he, elevates Sam Darnold's game because of his ability to run the ball and more so. I'm going to be on the Panthers out right there.
All right, Sammy Adams, I know you're on the live, I think, on Instagram. Thank you so much. All right, Sammy, you're on the live. Talk your talk. Why do you think the Patriots are not only going to win, but cover the 3.5 points in Carolina?
Well, I mean, they scored 3 points like 2 games ago. It's a terrible situation, awful defense. And, Bill Belichick, give me the Steve Belichick with the absolutely light it up. You never know what's going to happen. Look, we took Cam from them. We're going to take everything from them. At the end of the day, it's Pat's nation, boy.
I love it. I love the energy. Alpha Dog Bets, we're going to move on to the next game. We're doing Buffalo, Josh Allen, going to Jacksonville. It's a huge, huge spread. I know you hate these games with a big spread. But Jacksonville, Buffalo, who do you like in this game?
Well, thanks for turning to me with arguably the worst game on the slate.
I got you, bro. I got you.
I mean, guys, what do you take in this game? I'm going to be completely honest. I'm going to have no action on this. I mean, the total's 48.5. Buffalo could score 50 themselves. The Jags have been horrible. The line's 14.5. The Bills could really look over this game a little bit. It's just too big of a spread for me to play, guys, and I'm not getting a good read on the total, so I'm going to be completely straight up. I'm not touching this one.
It's not. That is an absolute straight up cap for Alpha. It's like, look,
what do you like?
Jacksonville is going to get absolutely blown out. I mean,
it's absolutely blown out could be by 14 points, and they still don't cover.
I'm talking blown out by like 21. Like,
that's an obliteration.
I mean, don't go into side bets with me. I'm in the mood tonight. At the same
time,
I
would say one thing for me when it comes to betting or trying to find betting angles in games like this with such a large spread. If you don't like Buffalo -15 or you think it's going to be a blowout, then I would actually focus on, like the Bills team total over or the Jags team total under, things like that.
It's a great
So
point.
you don't focus on the spread, you focus on how one particular team is doing. For example, Sammy loves Buffalo today and he thinks they're going to clap the Jags. Why not go Jags under, or why not go Bills over? Something like that. That way the line is not even part of it.
What is it, 10.5?
I couldn't tell you. I'll be honest. I don't have it in front of me. But
10.
we're gonna move forward to the next game. This is gonna be an Ohio interstate squad. It's Cleveland and Cincinnati. Obviously, we know Joey B just had a really bad fourth quarter against the Jets. He's gonna be back home playing against Baker Mayfield. There's gonna be a lot of controversy, a lot of hype. I know there's some OBJ news about Cleveland as well. I'll start with Dead Press picks.
OBJ
right,
sucks.
Right now, Cincinnati is a 2.5-point favorite at home. They're going to see the Browns. How do you read this, and do you have action on this, Prez?
Yeah, I love the Bengals here, AC. I think they do get the bounce back after really just an awful loss for them last week. I think the Browns have a lot of issues right now going on, one off the field and then two on the field. I think Baker is dealing with an injury, and, he's really just not performing near to what we saw last season. And they might honestly be better off with not even playing him because, their offense has no rhythm at the moment. He's really missing a ton of throws. The video that Odell's dad put up, obviously it's uncalled for, but he's not wrong. If you watch that video, and that's just one receiver, right? So, there's a lot more going on there that we're not seeing. So I think the Bengals here back at home, I do think they get it done. I like them a lot here at -2.5. I think they cover this one with relative ease.
I think the New York Giants are maybe 2-20 since Odell was on a yacht with a bunch of other dudes, no girls in sight, wearing Timbs in Miami. So, the Odell news does not make me sway my bet. Here's the thing with the Browns, is the Browns can score points, and at the same time, Cincinnati's put up 30 points in the last 3 games. So I think the over or the under being 45, I think that is insane. I'm going over on this game 100%. I just think
that's a great call, Sammy, because it opened up at 45. It's already steamed up to 47.5. So great call there, Sammy. I like that play as well. It could be one of my bets come Sunday. I want to move forward to this next game. We have the Vegas Raiders Wizard traveling to the New York Giants. I'm going to let Alpha Dog Bets talk about his team, Daniel Jones. There's a lot of controversy, obviously, off the field with the Raiders and the Henry Ruggs story, which is very, very tragic. But let's not get into that. Let's get into the game itself. They are 3-point favorites on the road against the Giants. Alpha Dog Bets, go ahead and talk your talk.
Well, let's just talk about the Giants game last week. So they came in against the Chiefs, and they got a bunch of turnovers, and they couldn't capitalize. I know the score was close. They only lost by 3, but that was a winnable game, and the Chiefs have not been the same team. I think we can all get to the point now where we can admit the Chiefs are nowhere near the level they were at last year. They should be in full panic mode. But let's go back to this game about the New York Football Giants. I have seen nothing besides the Carolina game to give me any faith in this team. I know the Raiders have all the outside noise in the world coming from the coach, coming from the Henry Ruggs. I'm not going to get into both of those scenarios.
Why did you say New York Football Giants like you live in Washington or something?
Because that's what we called them in the New York Football Giants. But guys, the Raiders by
the New York Football
good team. Number. I think the 3-point line for the Raiders is a good number. I hate betting against my teams, but I have no faith in the Giants, and we cannot stop the pass. The New York Giants cannot stop the pass game. I think Carr is going to pick them apart. I think the Raiders win this one easily, guys. And this is the first time all year I've publicly said I think the Giants are going to lose, and I would bet against them. Wow. And I stand by that. I don't like the match at all.
All right. We're going to move on to the next one. Sammy Adams, we have your duck. We have the Chargers traveling to the link, playing the Eagles.
Link.
So the two guys that are going to be talking about this game will be the Chargers. The Chargers traveling to play the Eagles. We'll have Dead Prez and Sammy. Sammy, you'll start. I actually I'm not gonna say it, but I like the NFC East team in this one. Go ahead, Sammy.
Oh,
Okay.
again? Never mind.
Okay, look, shut up, dude. Like, you lost Odell. You guys didn't even make the playoff card with the Yankees behind you. Relax. But all I'm saying here is, what happens to great rookie quarterbacks? I mean, it's his second year. Belichick picked this dude apart for the second season in a row. They beat them 42 or 35-0 last year and clapped them as the Pats. At the same time, I think this is a huge comeback spot. This line is way too low for me. I'm absolutely charging on the Bolts 100%.
Dead Prez, I know you're going to be on the same side as me. Tell them why the Eagles are not only going to cover, but win outright.
No
Because
chance.
Philly's great.
Well, yeah, I mean, there's a lot of reasons. But the main thing, as you said, though, the line here, right? The Eagles are it's moving towards Philly. So I'm going to follow the line here and take the Eagles as dogs to win this outright. I took them earlier in the week at +3. It is dropping a little bit, but I mean, I think we're going to see a little bit of regression from the Chargers here on the road. It is a tough place to play, obviously. And, the Eagles' offense is finding a little bit of a rhythm the last couple of weeks. Play calling's been better. So I think the Eagles do win this outright, and we see the Chargers, take a road loss here.
There's just no chance. There's no chance. I'm telling you, right. I'll take.
We'll do it. We'll do a side bet offline. We'll do a side bet. Sammy versus me and Dead Prez. I'll give you one interesting tidbit here with the Chargers. The NFL schedule makers did not do them any favors. They played in New England on Sunday, had to travel back home, do 2 days of practice, and now they're going to travel back east again to Philly. So their body clocks are all out of whack. I like Philly at home. They haven't won a game at the Link, but I think it happens this Sunday.
That's such a bad take. It's like, look, all of us travel for work. It's like, you got a show in Oklahoma. You jump on a tour bus. You don't even know where you are. You're basically sleeping in a coffin for 6 months. It doesn't matter where you are. It depends on how you play. You look good. You feel good. You play good. Justin Herbert will surprise you, and trust me, he'll be walking out of the Link with a big W on his head. Not the L, not a dub. It's a W. Good night.
We'll get that side bet going. Wizard, we're going to go into a marquee game here. It was supposed to be the game of the week, but there were COVID-related news. Green Bay is traveling to Kansas City. It was supposed to be Aaron Rodgers, Patrick Mahomes, but we're going to see Jordan Love. We're going to see the young, I think second or third year at this point, start his first game against a big team on the road. I'm going to start with Alpha Dog bets. It obviously opened up at -2.5, -3 for the Chiefs. After the injury news, it's basically a touchdown difference between the two. Chiefs are getting 7 points. How do you feel about this game, Alpha Dog?
I think we have a bit of an overreaction here as well to the injury news. I think that this game moving 5 points is just too many points. Last night I locked in the Packers +7.5. I know it's down to 7 now, but I got the -110 yesterday at the 7.5. I just think that too many points for that Packers team. The defense hasn't looked that bad, and the offense has looked good. I think Jordan Love will fill in fine. And remember, Aaron Rodgers missed most of the preseason this year, and Jordan Love got all the number 1 snaps. He's had a lot of work with these guys. So give me the Packers by 7.5.
I mean, I couldn't disagree more, but at the same time, putting him up against the Swiss cheese, it's like the Chiefs should literally move to Austria, speak 5 languages, because your cheese is just. Your defense is holy. You literally almost lost last week.
And they lost the week before.
And I can't be mad at that, I guess, because the Chiefs D is so bad. And Mahomes, despite his spouse and his little brother, it's like, God, it's like those are just terrible side thoughts. It seems like in his videos that he doesn't really care that much, but at the same time, it's like, when you have those two around you the whole time, it's like, how do you ever study a playbook?
I agree, man. And I agree with you. The Kansas City defense is terrible. They are catching a
So
break
bad.
without Aaron Rodgers. The Giants last week should have put up at least another 7 to 10 points on them as well. So right now they have a bottom 5 scoring defense. They should be even worse than that. But we'll go ahead and move on to the next next game. Wizard, we're doing Tennessee and the Rams. The Rams are all in. They just traded for Von Miller this past week. I'll start with dead press picks. Sunday Night Football. The Rams are going to be one of the most public bet teams all week long. They're a 7.5 point favorite. Are you doing Tennessee?
I am. Well, if I like the under here. I say if I had to take a side though, I would lean with the Titans in this one, just because that makes sense. But I'm gonna go with the under here. Yes, the addition of Von Miller is very big, but we don't know how this Titans offense is going to perform without Derrick Henry. But we do know that for Tannehill to play well, he's always needed to run, right? So I think they're gonna have to run the ball a ton. In this game, and they're still going to have a similar approach to the game, try and use a lot of clock. They're going to have to try and keep Matthew Stafford and company off the field. So 54 is a high number. I think that it sneaks under that in this spot. So, yeah, I like that under a lot. Maybe the first half under is a little bit better at 27 just because the pace might be a little bit more feeling out for the Titans in the first, half because they haven't played without Derrick Henry. But massive, massive news for the Titans. I mean, that's something that they're lucky their division stinks because that could kill a season. But I think they'll be able to hold off that division because it's just so bad. But, that's a big, big loss.
I mean, I honestly think that the Derrick Henry news is insane. Like, it could potentially be a deal breaker or a season breaker for most teams. But at the same time, I feel like this gives someone a shot. I don't know who the backup running backs are.
McNichols and Peterson.
I mean, Peterson has to learn the playbook in 7 seconds. So it's going to be insane. So it'll probably be McNichols. And, I honestly
is good.
I honestly think that these guys do well under pressure. I feel like the games where they're supposed to get blown out by the Bills or not have any passing yards, like Tannehill shows up. So I think this is a wild number. I will get into it later with the picks. But 7.5 for a good football team with a bunch of great wideouts, 7.5 is a large number for me.
All right,
I agree with you. Wait, one quick thing, though. I do agree with you on that. The only thing I fear, though, is they did lose to the Jets. Before the Jets were now the Mike White Jets. So it scares me that they might play down.
With Henry, though.
Yeah, exactly. So it does scare me, but I'm also on the Titans. I love the Titans this week.
All right, Monday Night Football. This is going to be the last game of this week. It's the lowest total. It's only at 40 points. Chicago is traveling to Pittsburgh. Two awful, awful offenses. I can't even tell you which quarterback is worse, to be honest, because Big Ben is terrible. Alpha, you'll get the last word. You let us know how you see this game, and then you'll introduce us into the best bets as well.
Why do you keep giving me the worst? First, the Bills. Now you're going to give me this one. Guys, on this one, as you know, I've been hammering unders in Steelers football all year. It's only at a 40 line. Give me the under again. The unders keep hitting. They play good defense. They have an awful offense. And the Bears have an awful everything. So give me the under, guys. I see this one going under very easily. And let's get right into this week's best bets.
Oh, wow. Just going to cut me off right away. I can't even say anything. Yeah.
So
so
go ahead. What are you thinking?
Well, look, we saw like an absolute razzle dazzle play by Fields last week.
We did.
I think if that isn't just a once in a lifetime thing, it's like, dude, he comes from Ohio State. Let's go. This dude is taking this team on his back. Luckily Andy Dalton is sidelined forever, hopefully. Maybe he can get an acting career somewhere. I think this game goes over 40 points is insane. I would
Do I hear a side bet between you and Alpha Dog?
absolutely.
It's a side bet everyone this week.
I'll take
I'm
over.
in.
I'll take over.
I'm in. Let's do it.
I'll take over.
I like the Bears in this one with the spread, guys. If you can get them up to a touchdown if it keeps going up. I think they keep it respective just because they're just both awful offensively. So I just don't see enough points to where I.
All right, let's go ahead and move towards our best bets this week. Alpha, let's go.
All right, guys. Coming in 2-1 last week on our best bets. Let's keep it rolling. Guys, my first bet we're going to talk about is going to be the Vikings +6. Went over earlier on the reasons why I think they have a great chance at even winning this game, let alone covering the 6 points. I'm taking the Packers +7.5. We got that yesterday for the same reasons we said earlier. And I love the Chargers this week, guys. Give me the Chargers +2. I think it was -2 I had. Yeah, it's going to be the no, is it +2? Let me double check.
We're on opposite side. Yes, -2 Chargers because both me and Dad are on the Eagles. Yep.
Yeah, it's -2. I'm going with the Chargers. I think they win this game by at least a touchdown.
I would crush Chargers +2 if that was a real line.
Yeah, I'll go next, guys. So I got the Eagles here +2. We are Oppo here. That on this one, we went over that. Eagles at home like them a lot. AC made a really good point with the trap rule. That the Chargers are going to have to face. So Dolphins, Jags, we didn't get to this one, but two of the worst offenses, guys, in the NFL, both ranked 28th and 30th in first half offense. They combined for about 15 points a game offensively in the first half. So just two bad offenses in this one. I believe that should also say Dolphins, Texans, but right? Yeah, I think that was just a mess up. And then Bengals there at -2.5. Went over this. Joey B bounced back. Love him here at home. And I think that they just steamroll through this one. I think it's a big-time win for the Bengals this week over the Browns. Sammy, what do you got?
Last week, I literally reverse swept. So you do not have to tail any of my bets. Personally, I think the best of the week are these teasers I have. And it's like, it's tough. I got Colts -3.5, Broncos +16.5 because Teddy showed some promise last week. -30. I know it's a little bit juicy. Second pick is Chiefs under 54, Titans +14, which I love the 14 number. Anytime it gets into double digits for a team like the Titans, regardless of if Henry's out, it's hard to turn down. That's -20. And then I'm going with the Boys as my pick of the week.
I do love the Pats just like Sammy. I'll go through mine real quick. I'm with Dead. I think this is going to be a side bet with me and Dead versus Alpha. But I like the Eagles +2 at the link. Texans, this line has already moved. It's been announced in the last 20 minutes that Tyrod Taylor is back for Houston. It's no longer Davis Mills. I think it's +6, +5 now. So I do like the Texans, obviously, at +7 if you could get a book that is really, really late to reaction. But I think even at +5, I like him because I hate the Dolphins and Tua. Their offense is horrible. And then the teaser is the Colts tonight at -4. I don't see them losing tonight. And then I'm gonna back another NFC East team in Alpha Dog Bets, Giants team. I think they just have a lot of good weapons. They haven't really played that poorly. They competed against Kansas City. They beat Carolina straight up. So I think they're trending in the right direction. I feel 3-0 with me.
Big Blue.
I mean, I don't know. You never know.
Yeah, you never know. You never know. All right, let's go ahead and move towards the best or the questions of the week.
It's question time, please.
Did you guys hear analytics?
All right, guys. The first question is from Connor. He was asking, as an Eagles fan, who would you say it is to blame for the lack of successes here? GM, Nick Sirianni having bad game plans, or Jalen Hurts over their defense? I would blame Nick Sirianni because I think his game planning has been brutal. And the GM, I don't think we put together the best roster. What do you guys think about who to blame for the Eagles' woes?
They don't give the ball to Miles Sanders. They do not run the ball. So the game plan, in my opinion, is horrible. Like you said, Dead Prez.
Yep.
There is a lot of talent, especially on the outside there with Devontae Smith, Jalen Reagor, Miles Sanders. They don't know how to utilize that talent, and the coach in like really big situations, it just feels like it's over. Like he can't handle the situation. So it's a little bit of everything from the leadership all the way down to the head coach.
I mean, I honestly think that Jalen Hurts has shown promise, and he's won games that he wasn't supposed to win at all. So he's also lost games that he was supposed to win. So I don't know how you can really like teeter it. It's a seesaw of like how he performs, and it's not all him. It's play calling, it's defense, getting them off the field and getting offense on the field. So I think it's kind of a 50-50 for me.
It's everybody. The team is horrible.
All right, Wizard, we'll get to the next question here as we wait for that one. Yeah, I mean, the Eagles are – this is not our year. We'll bounce.
Another Eagle-ish question for you, Ted. You can take this one too. It's kind of Eagle-ish.
It's a good one. So why does Frank Reich continue to throw Carson Wentz? This was a really good question for last week, 50-plus times, and only give Jonathan Taylor the rock about 14-16. That single-handedly cost them the game last week. It kind of did. I don't know, in overtime especially, they just kept throwing the ball. What do you guys think about that? I mean, Taylor's your best playmaker. You have a good offensive line. I think it was a kind of a poor game plan late by the Colts.
I would agree with you. It was a terrible game plan. I mean, you need to mix in the run more so you can keep the defense off balance even. So you can just create that play action and all that. I just didn't think it was a good game called as well.
Right.
The more you can get the ball out of Carson Wentz's hands and more into Jonathan Taylor is a win. So
I agree.
I mean, I feel like every time Carson Wentz has the ball, it's just like an easy finish him. Like, just sack him. He's so easy. He's slower than Tom Brady.
He's got no ankles. He broke both of them.
It's like he's two broken ankles. T.Y. Hilton's playing like with his grandmother's body. I don't know. It's like it's going to be an interesting ride for the Colts, but at the same time, I don't know. I think Jason Taylor is a stud, minus losing me fantasy last week. Next question.
I'll play Carson Wentz today and eventually take Zach Wilson's job.
Now this is a question. A deep question.
You got it first, Alf.
The answer is no. I mean, Mike White may outplay Carson Wentz today, but he's absolutely not going to take Zach Wilson's job. I think it would have been smart from the get-go for the Jets to be providing Zach Wilson with a little bit more quarterback controversy, a little bit more of a quarterback battle, because he was kind of just handed the job with no repercussions. I think this is going to be good for him, knowing he has Mike White there is really going to push him to be better. So I don't think he's going to take his job. They spent the number 2 overall pick on him. It's pretty sure that he may play a little this year, but it is still Zach Wilson's job for the future.
Well, let me just on a legal standpoint, tell you it's repercussions, not repercussions. A little law and order there for you. I think this guy had like it's like beginner's luck. I think he gets smoked tonight.
It was the game plan. The coaches had a great game plan for him. It all depends on the game plan tonight. If it's quick throws in and out.
All right, Wizard, to the last question, please.
Wizard.
All right, pretty standard here from Cameron, guys. Who is your pick to win the Super Bowl? So I'll start with us. I'll go with the Rams here. It's been my pick pretty much all season.
I'm with the Rams as well. Rams or Bills right now are my picks.
It's a terrible pick.
Who's your pick? Who's your pick, Sammy?
My pick is the New England Patriots.
I love it. I'm not going to say the Cowboys because I don't want to jinx it. Give me the Bucks. I want the Bucks to win. Hint, hint.
The Bucks can't cover a spread on it.
You didn't get my joke, Sammy. You didn't get my joke.
What was your joke?
I want to jinx them. All right, guys. I think that completes our show. Completes our show today. Thank you so much, bookmakersreview.com, for everything you've done. Thank you for sponsoring the show. Please subscribe. Please like us on YouTube. Please check out BMR on Twitter as well. Give them a nice follow. Again, bookmakersreview.com. I'm AC. We have Alpha Dog. We have Sammy Adams and Dead Prize Picks. Thank you, guys. Everyone have a good week.
See you guys.
Thanks, guys.